All right, let's do this. It is Tuesday, January 20th. Start with the S&P, which was down at a good 2%. We did have a rally attempt in the early morning, but it completely failed. Then we took out the 50-day because, yeah, we initially actually bounced from the 50-day. Bounced actually, we bounced up to tag teal gap, but then we had a full reversal down again. And in the closing hour, we even tagged yellow gap, a little minor gap. And then below that, of course, we have a gap from mid-December. We printed 67.20 before going straight up to a new historic high. I mean, keep in mind this. We're clearly having a little bit of weakness here, but you can see in this instance, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days up, including that initial high there, to a new historic high. I mean, clearly today's candle shows zero sign of a fall. On a daily chart, RSI is 40, so we're not oversold. In fact, we weren't even oversold at any point in the last few months. Came close there, but still not quite. VIX, will jump to that. Yeah, I mean, look, we have a settlement above the 20 threshold, although we're going to have to fill this gap, whether it's before this week or into the end of the month. And look at that. End of next week is February. I mean, that's just freaky to me. January is flying by. Again, RSI on the VIX 67. We're getting close to overbought. And you can see it never stays above 70 for very long. You see, at that instance there, the VIX was smashed. Yeah, look at that. A couple of weeks down. All right, what next? We just go through some individual stocks, I guess. So Apple's down 3.5%. Bear flag played out. 246. RSI 17. We are, you know what? We're actually more oversold now than we were at the April low when Apple was 168 and the S&P was 48.35. You see, this is cyclically really low, and we're getting close. A couple more days. You can see today's volume was above Friday. Friday's was skewed because of OPEX. Clearly, support is around the 200-day 233, but that's another $13 down, which is a bigger decline than today's decline. So yeah, that candle suggests we have a bit lower to go. Let's skip through a few of these. We don't care about some of these. Yeah, Agnico Eagle Mines, new historic high, basically up what, 6%? 209. 209. It is basically now doubled up since May, right? So 8 months, 102 to 209. Also, what did I say last week? What is that? It's a baby bull flag, right? Spanning 3 days. American Eagle actually settled up. Spurious game. First Majestic Silver, new multi-year high. Not a historic high, it's nowhere near that. 4.5%. Today's candle is black, but I'm kind of dismissive of it. Can't be bearish on miners or gold or silver. AMD had, well, 9 cents because there was some bias in the semicon state. Partly was helped by Intel, which has earnings on Thursday. Amazon down 3.5%. Again, should see the 200-day hold, and of course earnings will be out next week, I think. Not sure when. Barrick Mining just falling short of a new historic high, but and it is a black candle. But again, look at the structure. Baby bull flag played out, right? Boeing up 0.5%, pretty impressive actually to the main market. And today's candle is actually bullish engulfing. The bubble was down 1.8%, but it's a bull flag. Bank of America, they tried to rally it. Structure is a bear flag. It threatens the 200-day. Bitcoin was down 9% to 28. Bitcoin itself was what, 89K, I think. Caterpillar 2.5%, just short-term cooling with the main market. Gamiko 0.5% down, just cooling back. Some of these I really just, I don't have the time to even cover half of these. Yeah, Coinbase down almost, well, what's that, 5.5% because of Bitcoin. In fact, if I drag this gap, I'm not going to do it now, but this gap is like, it's where Coinbase is trying to floor. Deckers down 2.7% in the 97s. We are cyclically low. The bold will be buying. Target remains 125 and then 150. The Mouse of Disney down 0.8%. Today's candle is a reversal candle at the intersecting 50 and 200 day. So that's bullish for Wednesday. Energy transfer, structure, baby bull flag. Endeavor Silver, of course, up with the sector. Ford, they tried to rally this in the morning, but it did come back. You see the 50 day is broadly holding a support, so we need to see this put in a floor within the next day or two. Freeport McMoran, 2.3%. Structure baby bull flag, $60. I think this is going to go to 90 to 100. This assumes copper will be around $7. I will say copper today settled. According to stock charts, copper was settling unchanged at 583. Hey, so spurious noise. How do I even pause this? Hang on. All right, how about now? Oh my god, I still need to learn how to use OBS properly. I guess I learned something just then. But yeah, Freeport looks good in the long term. Uh, why would you not expect it to go to 90 to $100? Google just calling back with the main market. And Depot holding up relatively. Also, look, today's candle is a hollow red reversal candle that is bullish. It's bullish about for 10 MA, for 50 day, for 200 day, key price threshold. This is a strong candle. Earnings will be due in early February. Big basic target is 400. Nicola, is that a new historic high? It might be actually. I should remember, but I don't. Um, yeah. Look at that. New historic high up 47% on the month in the 28th. The 28th. Wow. Intel. Yeah, Intel had a pretty good day relative to the main market. Yeah, 3.4%. Short-term structures a baby bull flag. Earnings are Thursday after hours. They should be okay. Well, they should show improvement, and the outlook should be reasonably positive. Uh, Having already printed $50 last Thursday, next resistance are the 58s. Bosh. Joby just calling back with the main market. JP Morgan down 3%. Again, it's another stock where you got to watch the 200-day. Rough day for KKR. Yeah, they're not happy about higher bond yields and just background chatter wasn't good. It's an ugly candle. You see we're back under the intersecting 50-day, 200-day. It's not good. Don't care about Kinder. Don't care about Cree. Hang on. Right. I'm gonna skip that one. So Lockheed was down 1%, but that is after printing a new um multi-year high. I mean, this is all again. This is all these swings. This is Trump related swings, right? Whack, jumps back up. I mean, it's just wild times, right? Wild times. Meta platforms down 2.6. I mean, look, it's just aching to touch red gap again, right? Just like in late November. Again, metaverse itself is a complete gross corporate failure. Microsoft, kind of similar to metaverse, sort of. We do have a reversal candle though, so that leans bullish for Wednesday. Micron up 0.5%, but that's a new historic high. Ah, yes, Netflix. So Netflix settled down 0.8%. Earnings in after hours were fine. Also, note the volume today. So, yeah, earnings were fine. Guidance was okay. A teeny bit below expectations from some people. In after hours, I've seen the stock print around 82.60. So we're basically testing the April low. I've got to think the market's got to want to wash out the 82 people. So then we can look for $70, maybe in February, or might even drag out into March. But clearly the bulk of the downside is done, right? 134, 87, and then 82 in after hours. Right, let's move on. Nike, of course, from what else? Nike was down 1.2%, 80, correction, 63.63. That is a reversal candle from the 50-day. So, you know, again, I do not think red gap, this little gap here, that's not going to get tagged. For individual stocks, not all gaps get tagged. All right, Nvidia, 4.5%, not pretty, but broadly, look at this. This is just chop, right? Just chopping around. I mean, there's historic high there, but then, a lot of chop. I wouldn't make much of this. I don't expect it to go under the 200-day. All right, OKLO down 5%. That's just main market pressure. You could argue short-term structures a bull flag, or even actually, you could argue we have an inverse head and shoulders here. It's not a perfect one, although it's got a nice low from around the 200-day. I mean, I got to think this will be taken out that high eventually. Oh yeah, ONDS. This received 3 upgrades today. One had a target of 16, another had 17 target. Wainwright had a target of $25. I agree with the latter. Got to be bullish drones. And yeah, so today's candle was actually, I'm a little bit spiky on the upper side because there were sellers, but that was just the main market's leaning weak. So, it was the edge was taken off the gains. But yeah, you could even argue also all of this, what is this? This is a bull flag, right? So 13, Wainwright looking for 25, and I don't disagree. It looks good for the midterm. Don't care about orbs. It's just decaying towards zero. Don't particularly care about OWL anymore. Don't care about Occidental. Pan American Silver, new historic high up 5, what's that, 6%? 6.2% in the 58s. Wow. Again, $100 doesn't look, it certainly is not impossible. I mean, look at it. It was 32 early November. It's basically almost doubled up in 2.5 months. 2.5 months to double. So, $100 given another 5, 6 months, assuming some kind of intermediate retracement in gold and silver looks very realistic. Palantir, don't care. Don't care. PayPal. See if there's, where are we going to just jump to? Let's just jump to Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab just got whacked with the main market down 7%, 89s, midterm bullish. SMR down 5.9% to 19 evens. Structure is very similar to OKLO as it should be. You could argue it's an inverse head and shoulders. You could argue it's a visible flag. I'm looking for a push to the 200-day at $30. Whether it's the end of February or maybe by mid-March, I think $30 is a very attractive target and realistic target within maybe 4 to 6 weeks. I would like to pick this up next week if I'm able to. I will hope so. Target cool down 1.7%. Just main market cooling. That's all it is. Tesla down for 4%. Again, this candle's not pretty, is it? It's taken out that low. You're like, okay, where's the next support? 200-day, 369. That's $50 down. It doesn't have to get that low, but this candle does not suggest a floor. Take two. Oh, there's one. Look, they're trying to floor it from a 200-day, just like here. I was just watching some GTA 4 videos on YouTube. Some funny stuff. Um, I'm sure version 6 will be a very good game. It's not going to come out though until November the 19th. Clearly, they're gonna really they need it to come out November 19th. Any later than that, and they're gonna miss out on the Christmas sales, which they can't do that. That would be a disaster for them. One way or another, Grand Theft Auto 6 will be released November 19th. United Airlines closed down 4.3%. Again, that's just main market pressure. Earnings in after hours were good. The last time I looked, I saw the stock printing the 112s to 113s. So, it's just a 4% rebound to where it was on Friday. But I got to expect the 119s to be cleared. So yeah, good earnings from Netflix and United. But Netflix is midterm bearish. United is midterm bullish. United Health. Oh, look at this. Up 2.2%. Solid gains. Now, partly, whenever the main market gets whacked, there's a number of stocks that catch a defensive bid. United Health is one of them. And I would accept that you can just say, hey, look, this is just a chop fest since what? I mean, you could even argue apart from that little low there. But if you start from here, it's been a chop fest since, well, I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it, but it's a lot of chop, right? Today's candle is actually bullish engulfing. I do lean midterm bullish, and I think this gap is going to have to be tagged minimum. Now, is that in February? Not likely. March, possibly, I guess, but maybe not until the end of the summer. But it's got to get there one way or another. And if I'm right about this one, then the main market will also be net higher to some degree. Exxon, new. Think about this. New historic high. That's really, considering the main market today, that's impressive. And yeah, today's candle's black, but hey, look, it's a new historic high, so that kind of overrides the fact that the candle closed, we closed below the opening level. It's impressive. In fact, did CVX, I think CVX got a new historic high as well, right? No. Actually, no, that's surprising. So Friday actually had a black candle, and today's candle in CVX is bearish engulfing. So Exxon is way stronger, at least for today. A couple of minor things I should probably try and highlight. I do want to cover gold and silver briefly. Do I want to cover bond yields? See if stock charts has updated their chart. Yeah. No. Some of these charts in stock charts don't update until like 2, 3, 4 hours after the close. So this is old data from Friday. Because yeah, this is stupid. I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow because they call them EOD, which is, there it is, EOD, end of day. So some of these charts don't settle or update until like midnight. Very annoying. Nothing I can do about that. So we're gonna end with a look at gold and silver. What do we want to cover first? Let's do gold first, I guess. Yeah, CVs have updated. So gold, new historic high, 47.65. I mean, look at it. And we get the occasional down candle, little bit of weakness there, but just broadly climbing, right? 47.65. We are only, I mean, as of the official close, we're $240 away from a new historic high. That's 5%. We are only 5%. Let's be clear. We could see gold print $5,000 before this weekend. Now, I don't think it's likely, but look, we're up $165 today. So we're only talking about another 240 to 5K. And I will say that you got to think, I have to think, there will be a lot of resistance around 5K. And then you could think, okay, what's the, I mean, this MA is going to be a support on the weekly. We could print 5K and then come back to 4,500 in early mid-Feb. But anyway, new historic high, net bullish day week, and of course we're going up midterm. We know where gold's going in midterm. I'm not going to go over all that again. And the only other one I want to highlight is silver. Silver, new historic high. According to stock charts, the high was 94. Is that 61? I mean, this candle is a bit of a mess. It's not being stock charts has issues with silver and some other charts in after hours. But anyway, we did have a new historic high. Again, this can't keep going up forever. At some point, we're gonna get a multi-week retrace. Now, I'm guessing gold will go to 5K. Silver will probably now go to what? I mean, you got to think silver's got at least test 100. Probably it's got to maybe want to go to 105, 110. But yeah, it's a hell of a thing to see, right? What else do I want to? Is there anything else? Nat gas, I guess. So that gas was up 80 cents on the day, 25.7% in a day. So look at this is what happens. 301. I said it last week. Nat gas loves to floor around $3. And if I actually pull out a long-term chart, look at this. I even have this price threshold here. It's slightly above 3 because I'm just linking up as many of the little spikes as possible, right? That's always the aim of the game. Link up as many spikes. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there. So just above 3 is where it tends to floor. And clearly today's jump was on concerns of cold weather, especially for America. So now you can wonder, are we going to go up to $6? Um, I don't know. Nat gas, again, they don't call it the widow maker for nothing. Just a note on oil. Um, I mean, you could argue, look, you can argue in oil, look, we stalled from it. Look at that. Look at where we stalled last week. Right from the 200 day. Called back, and now we're trying to floor from here. And you can argue structure's a bull flag. If we break above 63, then next target will be 67. And then after that, 70. So oil's been midterm bearish for a long time. And if you ignore this little craziness here, right? I can't honestly remember what the hell that was about. Why the hell did we go from 78 to 64? What was that about? I don't even remember. I mean, was it? I guess it was Trump related, maybe. Was it Israel? Was it Israel Gaza last June? I don't remember. Everything is a blur. Too many news stories. I'm literally overloaded. But anyway, for now, oil is still midterm bearish. But if it goes above 63, that changes things. Of course, that would be bullish for Exxon and Chevron and Schlumberger and Oxy and Kinder Morgan and ET. Hmm. Yeah, this chart hasn't even updated either. All right. I want to end with one chart. What am I going to highlight at the end? Anything at all? Did we get a red candle on the elder? Ooh. On a weekly chart, the S&P has a red candle. Now, last time we had one. Look at this. We've only had we've had 2 red elder candles since the April low. But not in some ways, you got to be very careful because you get a red candle there and then off we go again. 2 red candles and off we go again. I mean, there are people out there. Some people think we're going to get like a big retrace like April. I don't think that's going to happen yet. I mean, I think it's not going to happen until after the SpaceX IPO, which isn't due until September, from what my prediction is. But yeah, it's a red candle, but the week is young. Well, it's also a short week, 3 days to go. What would I like to end on? I don't know. This will do, I guess. We'll, we'll end on this chart. But yeah, interesting day. Um, we're clearly got to bounce. The issue will be, is the bounce just a bounce and then we roll over again and have some real bigger problems? I mean, for instance, on the weekly chart, the lower Bollinger is offering 6,500. That's another 300 points down, which would not be pretty, right? Because also that would take out that low. That would be a problem. If we take out 65.21, that's a problem. Otherwise, I'm still expecting that we're going to go to 7K, and the upper Bollinger right now is offering, what does it say? 7,008. Yeah, we can go to 7K before, not this week. That now doesn't look realistic. But we can do 7K next week. But we got to have Trump. We got to have Trump not keep rocking the market with talk of Greenland and bloody tariffs and stuff. That has to stop. Otherwise, the market is going to be at risk of having a multi-week cooling wave, which scared the hell out of a lot of people in March and April. And this little candle here is tiny, but if if we break, you see here when we broke the Bollinger, then we chopped around, multi-week bear flag, and then smash, smash. Then of course we rallied. Anyway, let's see what Wednesday brings. Hopefully it'll be calmer. Of course, there is Trump. Remember, Trump is at Davos tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern, I believe, Trump is due, and that will merit attention. We'll end on that. Have a good evening.